Peter. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Today, we are going to see integrating MuleSoft with Amazon Web Services with different AWS services. So first, we will create an account. We will see which of the AWS services are which ones are mostly integrated with MuleSoft, and we'll see the different connectors available. We may not complete it today, we may not finish it today, we'll continue next week. This is very important concept. You will use it in your project. It is also important to, you will also include it in your resume. Usually in interviews, they ask if you have cloud services experience. So you have to practice, not only just understanding the concept, you have to get your hands dirty and do the demos yourself, and we will create an AWS account also together. So yesterday, Barakat covered at a high level cloud services and cloud computing. And today, for particularly, we are zooming into AWS. And the reason that I'm zooming into AWS is this, because AWS has higher market share. So as you can see, AWS is the most commonly used cloud infrastructure service provider. So in 2021, Q1, you see AWS accounted for 32%, followed by Azure 20%. There is Google and so on. So that is the reason. But as I said, if you know one provider, the concepts are transferable and it is not difficult. If someone is, for example, Google Cloud certified, to take AWS certifications, they just need only to read a couple of things. I mean, from AWS environment perspective, but the concepts will be similar. It is like switching from one programming language to the other programming language, and most of the data types, the other concepts, looping, and so on are similar. So let me share this slide with you. Then we will build the slide together as we create also an account. So this one, let me see the settings. Is anyone with a link? Okay. So I'm sharing it in the chat to everyone. Please go to the slide. So let me go to the next slide. We have lots of services, AWS services that we need to know to integrate with MuleSoft, but mainly we are going to focus with these ones. Amazon S3, that is S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. So Amazon S3 is this one. You can store any data there. We will see this one. Amazon RDS, this one. It has a relational database service. So it includes MySQL, Postgres, and so on. So before we had MySQL and Postgres, the connection is similar now. We can connect the same way we can connect to MySQL in the cloud. The difference is this is in the cloud, it will be accessible from anywhere, and also it will be scalable. That means it can handle very huge data and more queries as compared to the one we installed in our machine last time, which had limited capacity. And we have also a Redshift. We'll see the difference between Redshift and RDS. This one is what I made for the tutorial last time with Amazon MQ. You can go over, if you haven't done it already, I encourage you, once we create an account, to create Amazon MQ and integrate it with MuleSoft and go over the video I shared last time and reproduce it. So they have free tier. So you see, for example, Amazon S3, it says 12 months is free. RDS 12 months is free. This one, Redshift, I think it is 2 months. Yeah, this one is for 2 months and so on. But generally, for our purpose, for our kids to really get comfortable with working with AWS services from MuleSoft, the free tier is more than enough, including for your project. So now let's go to this link. All of you, please click this link and we'll create an account. Click link. It will bring you here. So once you are here, please click create a free account. So we have here the link, or actually on slide 4 also, if you just click. So go to the Google Slides and click this link, then it will take you here. So I'm putting email and username. Then it says verification code. I will go to his email. I don't need this account anyway. I will delete it, but I want just to build the account with you. Make sure everyone is also creating an account. So I will copy this code and to go to, where was it? Go to AWS is here. Bring it here. So if you bring the verification, paste it there, verify. It says it is you, your email address has been successfully verified. Now password. What's the password it suggested for me? I will just put some easy password. So provide password. Then click continue to step 1 of 5. Okay, the password is what it is saying. Okay, so what I can do is just provide a stronger password. In my case, since I have password here, I'll just copy some password from here. So copy password, paste, continue. Okay, I don't need the password. I mean, I know it, I guess. Or let me paste it in also to make sure I don't forget it later. Okay. So now sign up for AWS contact information. How do you plan to use AWS? Just select personal, provide your full name, phone number, provide your credit information, credit card information. They don't charge you if you don't use, and you can stay on top of it. One thing. The other thing is you delete it before it expires. Mine, the free version, I have been using it since 2015, and I didn't encounter any unexpected expenses. So put your card number here. So I will do that in my other screen. I'll take it here. I hope, yeah, let me unmute and ask the question here. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not showing my credit card. So do you guys see a YouTube video here? The like transforming XML data to CSV something window or an AWS window? What do you see?
The YouTube video.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I will enter my credit card information. You also go ahead and do that. You will be safe. Don't get scared. And I'm doing that. Your expiration and everything. Card holder name. Then after you do that, you click verify and continue to step 3. Now, how should we send you the verification code? You can just choose a text message. So I chose, I guess from now on, I can bring it here. So here it asks me, how should we send you the verification code? Can't choose either of them. The default is fine. Mobile number is this mobile number. This security check, it is, I think, X2. Yeah, if you cannot read it, you can refresh a couple of times until it becomes readable, or you can even also change to audio security check. I guess this one is 64MD7W. 64MD7W. How does this work? Okay, verification code. Is the phone with us? Now they send a verification code to your phone. I will pause here and make sure all of you are in this stage. So I verified my account. Now, those of you who have reached on this stage, can you please give me a thumbs up? Yeah, thumbs up. One, only 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5. Yeah, I think all of you should do this. This is very important step. Having cloud, like for example, even if you want to also learn AWS, if you want to be to upgrade your, for some reason, your profession to cloud computing, this will be beneficial. Generally in IT, one knowledge is important for other things also. It is transferable. Knowledge in one area is transferable to other areas also. So take it seriously is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if you are on this stage, those of you who just recently joined, go to the slides in the chat, and we are creating AWS account, and then we will see how to integrate the different AWS services first. Then we'll integrate MuleSoft with AWS. And the reason we chose AWS over Azure or Google Cloud is because AWS has much higher market share. It is the most commonly used cloud service. So once we are here, we'll just select the basic support, the free one on the right. There are different tiers here, support plan. The free one is fine for our kids, it's just for practice. So complete sign up. So then it says, congratulations, thank you for signing up with AWS. Go to AWS Management Console. Now we'll see the different, I have to sign in here first, and then I will see the different, I will show you the different services they have. So, more. This is my son's Gmail. I will delete this account later. Okay. Next, put your password. So this is to sign in. This is what will be you doing always when you use AWS, when you sign in. You put your email, you go to aws.amazon.com, you provide your email, and then it asks you for your password. So you have to remember your password, you have to save it in a safe place. Plus your password should be strong, because you see, since you have added your credit card, it should not be compromised. And if people hack your account, they may spin up very expensive clusters. Usually Amazon are understanding. If you tell them it was not you, they help you. But anyway, you don't want to jeopardize yourself. So sign in. Now we have created an account. We have the, let me see my password. So that we can see the different services, the different AWS services. Okay. Those of you, can you raise your hands? Those of you who either have account from before and are able to log in, or who just now created an account and are in this stage. How many people are able? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, cool. Let's give 1 or 2 minutes for others. And if you face some errors, let me unmute you. Raise your hands. Yeah, you can ask questions so that we are all on the same page. Let me give 1 or 2 minutes for others also to join us to be on this step. Okay. The action is another action. Anyone who has any issues, any errors, who are not able to create AWS account? So let me go over the slides again for those of you who recently just joined. So we are creating an AWS account, and we will see how to integrate. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. So it is cloud provider, the most commonly used one. Their market share is shown here. AWS has market share of 32, followed by Azure 20% and Google Cloud 9%. So that's why we're creating AWS account. But generally, if you can integrate with one cloud, integrating with other cloud is not difficult. It's just understanding the concept, what matters. And these are the different services that we will see, and they have free tiers, at least for 2 months, and many of them for 12 months. So for this course purpose, the free tier should be enough. You will not be charged anything, but when you create the account, you have to provide your card information, credit card information, email, phone number. That is, and when you log in every time, there are a couple of ways to do that, but at least you have to have the email and username. There is also what is called two-factor authentication to make it more secure. If you get time, you can Google that and enable two-factor authentication. Actually, I strongly recommend that. Maybe I'll show you another time for those of you who don't know it. So, okay. So those of you who raised their hands before, can you just take it down? And I want to see how many people are on this stage, how many people have AWS, are able to, where is the page? Yeah, how many people are on this, have got on this stage, are able to log in, create an account and log in? Just only 8 people out of 20 something. There are 26 people. So, and if you, yeah, 10, okay, 10%. And if you have any errors also, if you got stuck with somewhere, you can ask us. Okay, so now let's see the different services here. If you go to the top right, there is services. Under services, you see there are different services, and console home. If I click this one, oh, okay, I got where I was. So we have the categories of services here. Analytics is one, you see on the top. Database is here. We will use analytics, database, and machine learning, Internet of Things, and so on. As you can see, there are different categories. Okay, storage is at the bottom. Today, particularly, we are going to see storage, and we may use also database. Mainly, we need for our integration with MuleSoft, we need storage, analytics, or compute is also here, and mainly database and storage. Let's focus on database and storage. So if you click storage, come here, you can see under storage, we have the common one is S3. So if I click S3 here, so there is short video here that you can watch. If people have questions, let me see. Okay. Yes, you can change your password after you create it. Now, let's talk about S3 first. What is S3? We will start with S3. So S3, I have this short slide here, short summary. So as I said, S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. You can store any kind of data. It could be images, it could be videos, it could be tabular data. So any kind of data, whether it is structured data, unstructured data, or semi-structured data, whatever it is, you can just dump it there. So it is commonly used storage system, and it allows you to store the objects or files in buckets. First, we create what are called buckets. Buckets are like directories in our computer or folders, and the buckets must have globally. This one is one important thing, globally unique name. Like if that bucket name has been taken already, it will not work for you. So you have to try with a different one. And objects have a key. It says here, objects have a key. The key is a full path. Like if I have a bucket and under that the bucket file, then the key is a full path, including the bucket and the file. We are going to see this. And one object or one file can be a maximum of 5 terabytes. This one is not that important for you. And as I said, you can store any kind of file format. It can be CSV, it can be JSON, it can be XML, it can be photos, it can be videos, and so on. So let's create an S3 bucket, and we'll dump data there and read it from MuleSoft, and also send from MuleSoft to that bucket, and vice versa. So, okay, come here. So you have create bucket here. Create bucket. To make it unique, I will call it MuleSoft. If I say MuleSoft, probably just by only MuleSoft, that could be taken. I will call it MuleSoft fish. So in your case, also just put MuleSoft dash your name or your nickname. So that is the bucket name I have. Then AWS region, I am in the East, so by default, that is selected ES East. But you can select different regions in the ES or elsewhere. So the rest of them, I will just leave the defaults. There is a way to for security, life cycle, and so on and so on. But in our case, we don't care about those things mainly because usually at work, the bucket name, information about the S3 will be provided. More you will be required to integrate from MuleSoft side, to work from MuleSoft side. Otherwise, the DevOps team or data engineers and so on take care of such things. But it is good if we have knowledge, a high-level working knowledge of S3 to talk about it in interviews and so on. So I did that. I gave the bucket name. Just leave the rest and click create bucket. Successfully created bucket, MuleSoft fish, it says. So I have a bucket now. To that bucket, I can upload data. Usually data is not manually uploaded to buckets. I mean, it comes programmatically from different services. But for now, we are going to just upload data. So view details. Okay. Okay, I will get back to my S3 bucket. I created a bucket. It's not easy. If I type S3 here and double click S3, it takes me here, and my bucket is here. So now I will give you 1 or 2 minutes to catch up if there is anyone who didn't catch up until here. Have you created a bucket? Name it MuleSoft dash anything to make it unique. So the reason I added fish here is to make it unique. And you see the region is East. We don't need to much sophistication here. So now, this bucket, I can upload data to it. Let's see how many people are able to create a bucket. Can you raise your hands, please? At least 10 people, I would expect. Only 7. Or any questions if you got stuck somewhere? By the way, these things, you kind of just learn them by just watching. You have to practice them. 12, that's nice. So yeah, that was the reason that I didn't prepare Google Slides, because I want all of us to put over it together and create an account. Okay, perfect. So nice, around 12 people. Thank you very much, guys. So now I can click this bucket name. And yep, there is no any data there, as you can see. Let's upload data to it. What shall we upload? Let's upload. I was thinking to reproduce one of the projects we did. I think it was in week 6. Let me check. This one, week 6, yes. So in week 6, let me show you what we did here. So in week 6, what we did is there is XLSX data. It is in our computer, and we send a request from Postman. Also, we specify the format that we want the data to be as a query parameter. It could as a query parameter or as a header. And we have a choice router. If the specified data format is CSV, then it should return it in CSV. If we specified XML, we should return it in XML. If we specify in JSON, if the specified data format is JSON, it should return it in JSON. Let's reproduce this one. The only thing is this one, the read part. Let me bring. So this one, what we are going to do now is we are going to replace this by a connector to S3. Assume now the data is in S3. And this is the case usually. So for any application to be accessible to the world, the data should be in an accessible place. And one of them is storing the data in AWS. So we are going to store data in S3 and replace this one. Go to the project, copy that project, and this one we will replace it by S3 connector. The rest of it will be the same. So as I said, if you specify the required data format in the query parameter, yeah. By the way, we added also, just for complication for us and help us understand, master the concepts, the course content, we added a couple of complications here. If the format is specified in the query parameter, it should pick that up. If there is no data format specified in the query parameter, it should check in the header section. And use that one. If the specified format is invalid data format, it should return an error. It should give us it is an invalid. If no data format is specified, it should return it in JSON. This was what we did in week 6. So now we will just reproduce this by replacing this with just connection to S3. So I will upload data to S3, and you can upload anything. It should not necessarily be the XML. From the course data we have, let's start by uploading the airports.json, for example. We have the airports.json. Where was it? Here. Under data, I have airports.json. So I will upload this one. Assume this is in the cloud. Assume you have an application that returns weather data, for example, when they request it, some or health-related data or government data. So the data has to be on the cloud, and based on the specifications of the user, based on what they want the data return format should be, then you should read it from the cloud and return it to the user. So I will upload this data, the airports.json, to the cloud, to S3 basically in this case. So I will go to AWS, and there is upload here. So we can just manually upload, but usually this is not the case. Such things are done programmatically. So add files. You can add files or folders. In our case, we just have a file. Let's make it simple. So I will upload my airports.json. Upload. Click upload as a button. Now my data is uploaded. As you can see, it is 139 kilobytes. Status succeeded. It says the data is here. I can just click it and open it. I think that it downloaded or show me. Let's see. Yeah, it gives more information about it, by the way, including encryption and so on. We can also manually download it here, or we can open it. As you can see, can also open it like this, just from the browser. So now we are going to see how to connect from MuleSoft and read this data from MuleSoft. And we will see also sending data to S3. Probably for today that will be all. Next time we will see creating MySQL and Postgres databases in the cloud and sending data to there and other things. Okay, so I have this data. Now to connect MuleSoft to S3, what do I need? Let's go to Endpoint Studio. Let's go to Endpoint Studio. So you have to you have to search it in Exchange if you don't have Amazon S3. By default, it should not be there. So go to Exchange, click Search in Exchange, and search here Amazon S3, and you'll get the connector there. If your account has expired, you can log in. Or if you didn't create an account at all, also you have to go to Endpoint platform and create an account. This one we covered in the first week. So you see, I can just type even Amazon by itself and see the different Amazon related connectors. There are lots of connectors here, including Redshift that we are going to see, RDS. You will see also Amazon MQ and so on. But today we just need S3. So Amazon S3 connector is here. Just select it and click Add. Then now when you click Finish, you will get it here added to the list of modules you have. So in my case, I have it whether I click Finish or not. It doesn't matter. How many people are adding Amazon S3 connector? Can you raise your hands, please? Okay, 5, 6, at least 10. From 24 people. Okay. Okay, perfect. So if we just see and click the Amazon S3 module, you can see it has different operations, lots of operations. The one we need right now is get object, just to read the data. So we have create object is to dump data there, copying, deleting, listing, and so on and so on. Get object is here. Get object. Just drag and drop get object. Okay, let's first create a project though. Before we do that, we said let's start simple first. Let's start simple first. So I will close the one I showed you, the returning the data in different formats. That one we will do that as step 2. First, let's just return the data in JSON format. Just there is a listener followed by that get object from S3, transform it to JSON and return it. So close this project. I don't need it for now. I just need this one. So add a listener. Let's do this together even. So go here. Let me delete all of them. So first thing from the HTTP listener, let's add a listener. Drag and drop as usual. How do I do this read line? Don't know what it is. Okay. Okay. So the path I will call it get data. In this case, whether you do get data or forward/get data doesn't matter, but it is good to add forward/get data when you have such things. Just use forward/ also. Okay, so we have the listener. It gets data. Here I will just get JSON. Now I go to the Amazon S3, and there we say get object. So the files we upload them. We say we upload them as objects. So that's what get object means here. So get object. What do we need to connect to Amazon S3? You can see here. We need the bucket name. So the bucket name is, we just created a bucket. Now we know what it is. It is just a folder. In my case, MuleSoft-fish. The key is the object name. The rest of the information, I don't think I need it. Now, let me show you also in the connector configuration. If I click edit here, I need connector configuration. This one from the drop down for connection, just click basic. And here we need to specify access key, secret key. These are like password, two-layered password, for example. Think as password one and password two for now. But anyway, they are like that, and we have to specify our access key and secret key. In this case, I'm using configuration properties file to hide them rather than just copy pasting them here. And I think this one was from another account. So now we have to go and generate the keys. Okay, it is 3:50 already. We will have, I think, 10 minutes. But before that, I want to see how many people have created AWS account, created bucket, are able to get the Amazon S3 connector and are on this stage. I mean, can you guys raise your hands, please? Okay. Okay, about 10 people. Yeah, that's nice. Those of you who are lagging, you can take the break time and try to catch up so that we can continue the rest part together. So I will give 10 minutes break, and after the break, we are going to continue from here. But if anyone is stuck somewhere, if you face any errors and it is not working for you, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hello, Dr. Fish.
Sure.
So there was another S3 connector. It was like Glacier, I believe, Glacier connector.
Yeah.
There was like different S3s. It's the one we're choosing is just the S3 connector, like by itself, right?
Yes, and the reason, by the way, if you want at a high level, you should not worry much about side things, but I think it helps you for your understanding. Let me show you what the different things are at a high level. I have some content here. Okay, this one, yeah. I mean, since you asked it, okay, I covered the content from this slide. It says S3 has durability of 99.9999999.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. And okay, to answer your question, there are different storage tiers. The standard is just Amazon S3. We are using the standard. This is a general purpose. But in some cases, you may want your data to just be there, and you access it infrequently. There is also what is called S3 standard infrequent access. And from what Barakat covered yesterday, for durability purposes, there is what is called data redundancy. They back it up in different locations. But if you don't want to do that, you can just, it can be in one zone, but you will be charged less. So this another tier is S3 one zone infrequent access. So that means the data is loss usable. So you don't need a durability of 99.99, 50% is fine. For example, you may go for this. And there is S3 intelligent tiering. This one is slightly different. They use machine learning to where your data should be based on users and so on. Amazon Glacier is like for storage. If you are not using it, it gets stored there. When you need it, you retrieve it. But the storage, the price is much cheaper. This is some data that you don't need, and you plan to delete it after some time. But to make sure you don't want to delete it right now, you just put it around the corner. So that is Amazon Glacier.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take 10 minutes and then we'll get back and continue from here. But those of you who didn't create an account or get an error or could not get the connector, please take the 10 minutes working.
Doctor.
Yes.
the buckets. Would you show me where to get it? I missed that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So once you log in here, you just go, you search here S3. You can search S3 and you have, just double click it.
Okay.
Double click it, it will take you here. And there is create bucket if you don't have bucket.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah. So.
The bucket you created also, you will get it here. Just select it and upload data to it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Credit card it's very
Okay.
Sorry. Could you please start from the flow of the listener?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just simple. We have an HTTP listener followed by get object. Then we will have a transformer. For the first step, we'll just do this. And I think the other one, like returning the data in the required formats, we can take that as homework, that assignment. So this one, transform message I bring here. By default, we make this to JSON.
The get object configuration. See that.
We haven't done that. Yeah, we'll do that together. That is, I think that is the only new thing we will see here. Otherwise, the rest we have been working with it. So, okay, this is transformed to JSON. Then we'll focus on how to connect the credentials required to get for the connection. Okay, so once you have a bucket, this is an important step. Okay, do you see my bucket, guys, here?
sure.
Okay, yeah. So we need to connect from MuleSoft. If you just click here, we need, as I said, we need access key and secret key. And also the region. My region is in the East. You know your region from when you created or the account, or you can also come here and see it. So now in your account, go to your account name on the top right. It shows your account, organization, billing information, and there is security credentials. So the access key and secret access key, we get them from the security credentials. So click security credentials here. Just click it here. And it brings me to here. So your security credentials page is here. Once you are here, there is access key, ID, and secret access key. So you just expand this one. And there is no any access key created, so I have to create by clicking create new access key. Then you will download it. You will download it as CSV format and put it in a safe place. Then we will use that for connection. That is what we use. So those of you who have already created a bucket, let me know if you are on this page. Can you guys raise your hands? Okay. So click create new access. So we went to our username on the top right. Then we went to security credentials. Then we go to access keys and secret access key. Then we click create new access key. We should not lose it. If we lose it, then we will have to create another one. So download the file.
Doctor, can you repeat it again, please?
Sure. So, okay. Let me download this one and download this file. I will show you. Okay. I can't delete this and create another one and so on. Anyway, so let's say you are here, just you log into your account. From here, you need access key and secret access key. How do you generate them? You generate them by logging into your account. How do you generate them? You go to your username on the top right, and you go down. There is security credentials. You click that. Under security credentials, there is access keys and secret access key. The second one from the top, expand it by clicking it. Now it shows this one that I just created. I can delete that, even create another one. Oh, yeah. Let me delete this one. Okay. Access key ID. What's the access key ID in the okay. Oh yeah, okay. First I have to deactivate it to delete it, I think. Then, oh my goodness, I'm going to type this one. Let's copy paste to work. Let me see. Delete. Okay, now it is deleted. So I don't have an access key. So I can create a new one by clicking create new access key. First, let me remove what I just downloaded so that I don't mess things up. Root key. So I'm creating a new one, downloading the file. Now, once you do that, you should not show that access key and secret key to anyone, because people can use that and compromise your account. So once we have the secret key and access key, what we are going to do, let me show you in Anypoint Studio. Follow me here, please. So let's come to here, where we're building this one, right? So go to, let me remove these ones. Are just go to source main resources in here and right click under main source main resources and new and file. So first let me remove this one and we'll start together. So delete this config file. We'll just create a config file and put the password there, the access key and secret key there. So that I don't just show the hard code the connection access key and secret key. Okay, so here just right click on source main resources and go to new and then go to file. We have been doing this before, just to remind you, otherwise we have done this multiple times. So file name, okay, okay, file name is here, the file name config dot YAML. Am I creating any file? Okay. Give me a second. Let me see. What did I do? New file under resources. Yeah, I messaged this up. Then config.yaml. So we put our credentials. Let me see if you are on this page. You go to source main resources, right click on it, go to new file, create new file, and you come to this step and call it config.yaml. Yeah, we use this to connect to MySQL, Postgres as well. So finish. Then we put here, let's call it AWS, then colon, then access key and secret access key. Then there are values. I will put like this. Type like this one. So in YAML, we say it should be in a hierarchical structure. So we access it by using $, curly braces, AWS. If I do AWS.access key, it is going to take the access key from here. For example, if the access key is Fasa, AWS.access key, it will pick the value, corresponding value will be this one. AWS.access key is like key, if you think in terms of key value pairs, and the value it will get it from here. So the access key downloaded, the access key and secret access key, you put them here. Let me make sure I don't have any typos in this stuff here. So after you type AWS, you add colon, then you indent, then you have the keys. You put access key. The names, this access key and secret access key, they can be anything, but it is good if the naming is intuitive. Okay, so now put your access key and secret access key here. In my case, I will take this one to my other window and add my keys there. And specify the configuration here. So from connection, you select basic from the drop-down, access key and secret access key. We put them like this. $sign curly braces AWS dot access key and our AWS dot secret. Let me see if I called it access key or secret access key. I think I called it. It should be exactly like what it is named there. So secret access key. Maybe secret access key. So in the connection, now I will test if it connects successfully. Do like this. Edit the connection here under connector configuration. Secret access key, I named it in the config.yaml as secret underscore access. But you could have named it differently. So my region is yes east, and now I will refresh it. Okay, test connection. Fingers crossed. I hope it works. Please. Okay, test connection. Test connection successful. Let me see how many of you are on this stage, and I will see if anyone has any questions. Okay. Have we reached this stage, the challenge?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Nice. The rest is the same. Once you connect, right? Once we are able to connect like this, we can send data, we can get data, we can convert the data to different formats, we can synchronize different database and S3, for example. The concept is more or less similar, just the connection is the only new thing here. I see. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, perfect. So the connection is successful. Now I will come here or here in the, I have to save it, and I have to provide the bucket name and the key. So our bucket name is just, in my case, I think it is MuleSoft Fish. If you go to search it just in here, in the search bar, just search S3, you get here, it takes you to here, double click S3 and you will see the bucket name if you forget it. So mine is MuleSoft Fish, is a bucket name. And under the bucket name, under that bucket name, the files we said we save them as objects. So the object name is airports.json. This is my object name, airports.json. That is my object name, my key name. I mean, key name, the key. Otherwise, the bucket is MuleSoft Fish. Dash or underscore. Okay, dash. Okay. I think AWS doesn't allow underscore. Okay. So now I have provided the connection. We tested the connection was successful. The bucket name, you put your bucket name, you put your key, and that's it. Now we can deploy this and see if we can get the data from S3 in Postman. Let me open Postman in the meantime. Yes, data is a path, get underscore data. You can call it whatever you want, but my path is get underscore data. So the only thing is, before we were reading data from our computer or from our data in our computer or a flat file in our computer, now we are getting the data from S3. So if there is a website, for example, that returns some public or private data, the data could be in S3, then when people request it, it returns the data to them in a specified format or in some generic format. Okay, now I will run it. You can run it and test it. Credentials to the config.yaml file. We have to also tell it that that config.yaml file contains configuration files. We have to tell it where to get it. So what we do is we go to global elements here and just click global elements here and click create and click global configurations. So like what we were doing before. We did this multiple times, but I forgot that. So go to configuration properties, was it? Yeah, configuration properties to specify the file. Yes. So here we specify the file. The configuration properties is found in the config.yaml. We have to do it like this. So you go to the global elements and click create, then click, let me do it again. We are telling it that the config.yaml contains the credentials. Otherwise, it doesn't load. Whether we call it config.yaml or MuleSoft.yaml and so on, it should not matter, but we have to tell it that it contains the credentials. So click create, click global configurations, configuration properties. Okay. Then click the 3 dots here on the right. Then choose a file, which is config.yaml in this case. If I do this, click OK. I hope now, fingers crossed, it may work. Then if you guys have errors, I will take us in. Any questions? Dasani, did it work for you?
It works for me.
Perfect. Okay, let me run this.
Some error and
Yeah, especially when we copy paste code from different projects, if they have different configurations, it's errors. But that is an experience by itself. When you do like that and solve the errors, you get used to it and you learn wisdom to debug other errors next time.
exactly.
Perfect. So mine now it works. I will give you a couple of minutes, see how many people are able to get here, or else some of you may share your screen and we can debug your error together. But in Postman now I can send a request and see if it gets the data in CSV format. So it is get data is a pass. Go to Postman. What is the other window? Okay. Okay, yeah. So send request. And the status code is 200. The data is here, as you can see. So we are able to get the data from the cloud. So this is accessible from, that means any application, like for example, if you create a website and that website gets data from S3, if you connect it like this, then it is able to get the data from S3, from the cloud. That means it will be available to the world rather than just in our computer. So you see now it works. How many people are able to get here? Okay. Yeah, by the way, so after we go here, we will go to Anypoint platform, push our application to there. But the application in Anypoint platform could be using data in S3 or elsewhere. And many of the concepts that Barakat was discussing yesterday, including the monitoring, scalability, deployment, managing, security, and so on, are the same thing. But we will see them anyway in Anypoint Studio. So the rest part, what is remaining now for maybe we are left with about 2 months. We'll be focusing on data weave. We'll have data weave classes, about 2 classes. Then we'll go to endpoint platform. That will be our main focus. Then we will integrate all what we have covered so far and put them together and build end-to-end project